The feet are a great place to start with. They're our foundations, what we land on after all. But we won't be entirely focusing our attention there. Have you ever heard the phrase, the best orthotics are strong glutes? Well, in this short class, I'll teach you why I agree with that. Plus, I'll talk you through a sequence that mobilizes and strengthens the feet, Achilles, and calves. So grab a mat and come down and we'll start on our back. So come and lie down, bend your knees. Feet to the floor with your ankles more or less under the knees. Now spread your toes and press all of them down into the mat. And then feel that help to lift the inner arches of your feet if you can. Slowly lift the hips away from the floor. And slowly bring them back down. Keep that awareness of your toes spreading, pressing down. Inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, bring the hips down. Next time you lift, have a sense of hugging the muscles around the sitting bones. Taking a few more there. Feeling that engagement around the lower part of your glute max. And it might just be subtle, but more than anything, taking your attention to that place. So that lower area of the glute max that gets sat on so often, that can so often become a bit weak or lazy or just disconnected. Just a few more. Imagine you're holding something there between your knees, like a yoga block. So the knees stay in place. The inner thighs feel strong. The glutes feel strong, and the pelvis is lifting smoothly. The pelvis stays even. Next time we come up, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Slowly lower the hips down. Lifting up, taking a few here, just on the left foot. And see how that feels now. See if you can let that movement be as smooth as it was when we were on both feet. But notice the difference. You might feel that left foot now working a little bit harder. Perhaps a little bit more effort and push down through the big toe. And you also feel the side of your hips, your pelvic stabilizes, particularly on the left side, switching on. Working more. Last one here. Down, and we'll switch. Coming up, left knee to chest. Slowly lower down. So taking a few on the second side, notice any difference. Keep spreading the toes, which in itself can be so useful, considering all the time that our feet tend to get encased inside shoes. And as you press the foot down, and try to lift the hips smoothly and evenly, notice what happens to the knee. See if you can keep the knee in place. Feeling that connection coming from the strength and stability around your pelvis, through the strength in your leg, into the foundation of your foot. Last one. Bring your knees in towards your chest. And then from here, either roll to the side or rock yourself all the way up. Come onto your hands and step your feet back. Lift your hips up. So downward facing dog. I'd like you to send the hips up and away from your hands so we can bend the knees, get long in your arms, long in your spine. Loosen up your head for a moment. And here, drop one heel as you lift the other. Not needing to try too hard. And switch, lift one heel, drop the other. And then just drop both heels easily wherever they want to go to. Slowly take your right leg up and back somewhere behind. Bring your knee underneath and step your right foot through up to the top. Give it a hand as you need to. Find your balance. Bring your hands to your hips. So here, bending into the front knee, dropping the hips comfortably. Spread through the front toes and press them all down. Feel the inner arch of the foot lifting, working, stabilizing you. And keep that front knee in place like we just had when we were on the floor. Hug this front hip back to stay in line with the other one. Now start to drop the back heel. Now tip your chest forwards and lift the back heel. Hug the belly in. Feel that support from the center. And then come back, drop the hips, sink the back heel, inhale, reach your arms. Exhale, tip your chest, come onto your toes, halfway forwards. Keep hugging this front hip back. Come back again, drop the heel, inhale, reach the arms. And then exhale, partway forwards. From here, if you like, we'll slide the back foot all the way up and bring it towards your chest. Stand tall, really press down through that balancing foot. Get as tall as you can. And then slowly back the way you came and take your hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Slowly take your left leg up and back behind and step it through to the top. Again, coming up there, finding your balance in this high lunge position. So we hug the front hip back to keep the pelvis level, just like we had on the floor. Spread the toes, press them down, engage the inner arch of the foot. Keep the knee there in place. Start to drop your back heel. So we can straighten the back leg, lift the inner thigh. Now tip the heart forwards and lift the back heel back up. Back again, open the chest, drop the heel, inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, partway forwards, come right up onto your toes. Slowly back, sink the heel down, reach your arms up. And then once more, exhale, partway forwards. If you like, all the way up, bring your right knee towards your chest. And really press the left foot down into the ground. Get tall. And slowly step that foot back, hands down to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Step the feet in a little bit, but turn the toes out, heels towards the center, and then slowly sink your hips back. Knees are out wide to the side. Like an easier version of a squat here. So let the heels just drop to where they'll go. And feel that subtle stretch through the Achilles into the calves. You can get heavy in your hips. And also finding that nice little stretch through the back of the hips. And then slowly come down to a seat. As runners, we've got to look after our feet like prized possessions. And yes, stretching and strengthening the muscles of the foot is essential to include in our practice to keep them healthy. And this class showed just a few ways that we can do that. But make sure it's part of a whole body routine, bearing in mind that strong, healthy glutes help so much towards avoiding common injuries like plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendinopathy. So that means much happier feet and a happier runner.